Gentlemen, it's an honor to call him out because he's a guy that's a co-founder of the company, the first ever code number. Rodolfo, I'm accurate in saying that, right? He's the first ever code
number one code. No, yeah, number one code. Yeah,
and,
number one code in that company. I think even before everybody else, number one code. And he's been the longest with Patrick. Out of everybody in the company, he's been the longest with Patrick.
Exactly, because I was about to say that because whenever I hear Patrick talk about George, there's like this deep, like son brother energy that comes out of Patrick, and when I saw him and his son, where was it, the racetrack, to see him holding George's son in his lap and just the relationship. He's telling us, "Do you know how many times I called you dad? Your dad and I had this one extra relationship after another in terms of the evolution of it all, and just to see the evolution of George from being a server, from being a field leader. I remember him holding up a ring and challenging everybody on our first ever what do you call those Monday morning calls? Remember those Monday morning calls we used to do in PHP?
Yeah.
And to see where he's at today, and relocating from California, Culver City to Austin, Texas. Now their office calling us out, George calling us out, telling we're going to take out Dallas in terms of number one office in the country. This is what PHP is all about. We got his back. We got everything in terms of guest count, associate count, challenge each other on a weekly basis. We got their butts and seats report. Guess what? Our butts and seats. We're just challenging every week. But that's making the company better, and George is making our company better. Obviously, he's brought you the line of you, and then Cobos, and then George. Just a story that I think that a lot of people.
Can I show the picture, Matt? Can I show the picture? I think that we have.
By the way, yeah, do it. Yeah, do that.
Show the picture because this picture is awesome.
Less beard, though. I bet you he's got less beard.
I showed this earlier, right? But look at this.
Zoom in.
Can you see it or no?
Can you zoom in?
No, I don't think so.
Gotcha.
I don't think so. But look at this. That's George.
That's it.
George next to Patrick, and that was a trip that we took over there to Washington D.C. And that's George. That was mostly George's team. A lot of people from George's team, and he's excited. And that was a trip. I remember that. The beginning, number one code in the company.
Yep. And so, but George, his training is, I mean, you can put a record on George and his training, and he'll record a whole CD set on how to train and build your team. That's how much the intellect of George is just so sharp over the years and how much he's capturing the team. So, very excited to bring him on to this call, the anniversary call from the new Austin, Texas office, PHP. Please welcome Mr. George Pelayo.
Appreciate it, guys. What's up, PHP? Fired up for you guys. I'm excited because when I got into the industry, I saw people that were, making millions of dollars in the insurance industry at that time. And some of these guys that were making, $1 million, then you look at fast forward, 5, 10 million, 15 million, $20 million in the industry. And we were, the brand new recruit that wasn't even making any kind of money. And so why am I saying that now? Because there's different people on this call where you're seeing Sapalas go to 2 million, Vargas's are about to cross 2 million. You're seeing $1 million earners like Gaines. You're seeing $1 million earners like Sika's coming up. And the speed, by the way, the speed of making $1 million today is really exciting. And seeing these guys get to the next level, and we want to cross that as fast as possible to join the club and continue to compete. But seeing this happen faster, I'm excited for the new MDs. That's always like, Pat's always done that. He's always said, hey, this business is about the new MDs. This company's about the new MDs. You got to keep the opportunity for the new MDs. When you look at our code of honor, it talks about the new MDs. Always making sure that the compensation favors the marketing director position, the new MDs. And, you look at PHP 14 years, right? What percentage of companies even get to this point? Bureau of Labor Statistics, I'll give you some facts. 20% fail their first year. All right, I think that's a higher number, but that's BLS. That's what it says. And some of you guys, I don't think your business starts till you become an MD. And I think you're in MD training, and then you become a marketing director. And hopefully, that's you, that you make a decision on this call that you're going to go hit MD. And I think that's when you really start your business. I think non-MD is MD in training. And then you get to MD, and now you have a chance where you're on the leaderboard. You're on a company leaderboard. Like, your name is on a scoreboard. And maybe you weren't the person that was number one in your high school valedictorian. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you haven't won a state championship. Maybe you didn't get the scholarship to Harvard. Maybe you didn't go pro, in the major leagues. But you still have a dream inside of you to be somebody, and you admire these people. And I think PHP gives you that platform. And I'm excited for the trainee, the associate FA director. I know we got a bunch of guys in the Bay Shop texting me on the call right now. We're so excited for you, genuinely excited for you. And so you look at that and you say, okay, well, what percentage just last past that? 45% make it past the first 5 years. 65% say they last 10 years. And there's a difference between lasting and succeeding, right? There's a lot of people that could be in the business for a while, but are you succeeding? And 25% make it to year 15. Okay, I still don't think that that's the right number. And then I kept going and I said, man, when did some of these companies that we look up to, get started, right? And I'll show you here. You look at this, Morgan Stanley, right? September 5th, 1935, right? You know what's awesome? That in the next 12 years or so, they're going to become a 100-year-old company, right? Because somebody on September 5th of 1935, right? September 5th of 1935 said, hey, you know what? Let's go build this company. And for us, that's Patrick. Right? It's one person that changes the world. It's one person. History is just, the world has changed because one person made a lot of decisions, and the world's had a lot of those people that make a decision to do something great. Right? You look at Goldman Sachs, 1869. Right? 1869. Right? And I thought about it, and I said, and by the way, this is a funny picture of Pat and I when we first got started. I got no wrinkles on my face, guys. Today I got gray hairs coming out of my eyebrows, my hair. I don't know how gray hair shows up. I think I'm just gonna start doing the Rodolfo haircut moving forward because it's gonna be gray. So, but I said, how many generations from now do we have to go before we're, a 100-year-old company? Because I think that's a big deal. And when you look at it, there's 26,000 companies or so in the U.S. 0.8% of them are 100 years old. It's less than 1% of companies that ever do that. And I think there's phases of it. So one, yeah, we've been here since day one, and I think the guys did a great job of talking about what that was like. No carrier to write business. No. Pat said, Pat, we got BOM tonight. What do we do? He's like, dude, do we have a presentation? Yeah, the presentation is called Sell the Dream, George. Go sell the damn dream. Go sell the dream. And you go, you think about that in that moment. You're like, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to sell the dream. And you do maybe, 4 quadrants, right? Employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. And you talk about, what's going on in America today where, whatever was going on back then. And you sell the dream. And I remember the first person that I did an RI with, I said, Pat, they're ready to get started. Well, how do we code them up? We don't have a code. What do you mean, how do we code them up? We don't have anything. And we just told you yesterday. I just told you yesterday we don't have anything. We have nothing. And I said, Pat, I really didn't think you meant that. I thought you were like selling, like taking it away kind of deal. He's like, George, we don't even have a website, man. We don't have anything. And so I go back to this lady. I remember the look on her face, guys. I said, hey, we're so new. You're like day one, ground opportunity. She was like, what the is this? What is good? She left. She's like, I said, come back tonight. We can't even put you in our system yet. Like, that's how we started this thing. Every brochure had the wrong grammar, just like nonstop. This would be like, hey, did you notice there's a grammar check? Grammar, everything's wrong, right? And then you look at like PHP commissions. I remember one time I got like overpaid. I had to call Maral, I don't want to have to get a charge. So, I'm just letting you know, you guys overpaid me. Like Maral's we're calling Maral to get a check, not to get a check. PHP was paying us, but like to ask questions. Like she was home office, commissions, this big event. Tigran, Tigran took me to a Chinese restaurant to go do lunch because he was building, and he's like, hey, let's go do a lunch. And I said, yeah, let's meet up, to go have lunch. Tigran picks a 45-minute away drive to go eat Chinese food. I'm like, brother, we could have went across the street to Subway. 45-minute drive. Like, these memories are great, but the people that have been here, everybody's got memories. The question is, if if you're new, by the way, you don't, but will you build some memories? You know, will you build memories? Will you be on a call like this for the 20th year anniversary, for the 25th year anniversary, will you be on that call and be like, man, let me tell you, and you're the next $1 million earner, you're the next $2 million earner, $5 million earner. Hey man, our first $25 million earner, let me tell you who they are. Like, that's the future that's coming, but it also doesn't come without us changing, right? To be a 100-year-old company, guys, it's 5 generations from now. That means 5 generations of builders that go 20-year runs. That doesn't happen unless we truly set the example for the next leaders in the company. And I think that the newest people can give the most hope. I think the newest people that get to 100K, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, I think you give people hope that it could be done faster because, yeah, we by far are a better company, by far. And you can't even compare the two. It's different worlds. Like, we're in integrity headquarters around a billionaire, and they're talking about what they're doing with artificial intelligence today, in a good way, by the way, not like in a bad way. Like, McDonald's just produced their first automated McDonald's. You don't even see a human being when you go. Tesla's coming out with robo taxi that's going to disrupt. It's going to be cheaper than public fares in Uber, right? And we see them in Austin just driving around, these cars driving around everywhere. It's absolutely insane, guys, and what's going on. And we're in such a great industry where you don't have to be worried. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that because people, for the rest of human existence, people are going to say yes to things they don't need and no to things they do need, and they're going to need leaders to sit down with them to get them to be leaders to sit down with them to get them to buy policies. And so my things as I close today, I'll just say this: have you burned your ships? Right? Have you burned your ships? If you haven't, it's time to burn a ship because you can't get to your destination of where you're supposed to go if you're in between opportunities. You got to make a decision. This is home. Hopefully you'll do that. 2, you got to learn how to control your emotions, right? Many times throughout the years of 14 years, there's been challenges, good, bad, stuff like that. Emotional control. You can't have ups and downs if you want to. You just set yourself back. You just eventually realize that about life. 3, you got to set the next goal, right? What is it for you? Is it MD? By when? Are you going to walk the stage at big event? We hope you are. I can't wait to see you guys at our big event, all the other regional big events that are literally 12 weeks away from now. 12, 14 weeks away from now. Are you going to be an MD? Have you made that decision to make this the last year that you go into not being an MD? And if you're an MD, do you have your next goal? Are you fired up about SMD or whatever that is? Your watch, your ring, are you fired up about that? We're keeping it real simple, guys. Number of associates, number of guests, people with a recruit, people with an app. That message is what's got 7 people here to. We have Oriana here tonight doing Fast Start tomorrow. We should have around 350 people here, close to 400 people here tomorrow. That's what it is. And Diana and Kelroy are here in town, and they're visiting, and Alfredo and Crystal are here, and they asked a question, and I'll finish with this. They said, hey, what did you guys do to recreate yourself? And it wasn't a recreation, it was a recommitment. And I think if we're going to go the next 14 years, it's going to take a lot of people recommitting to get to the next level of who they are. We want to do our part to set a good example in every aspect, at every phase of the business that we're at. I'm so grateful to the home office. I'm grateful to my partners. I don't have to worry about any one of them, their integrity. It's hard to find people like that. And if you've ever had business partners outside of PHP, I've had a business partner that stole $1 million from me that I almost did some bad stuff to. So trust me, it is so rare to find people that love God, that value truth, that are committed to greatness. And that's what you have in the people on this call. And there's a lot of people that maybe your face isn't on the screen tonight and you're pissed off about that. You know, we'll do something about it to change it. You could be bitter or you can get better. I hope you choose to get better. We need more people to get better. We need more people that are emotionally mature at the top. And this is a big boy and big girl club, and it's not easy to do it. And so that's why I have so much respect for the people I get to run with. I'm blessed to have you guys in my life. Congratulations, Tigran, on the new promotion. This is such a beautiful picture. I know Sapala was giving you the love before we started the call, but what a beautiful picture right here, man. VP of Sales and Distribution. I know you've been living at airports and planes into all our offices, bro. And you guys, you and Marat are rock stars. We love you guys and grateful for you, as well as the field leaders. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Vargas.
Thank you, George.
Awesome.
Here's one of my best memories of George Palayo, right there. RV tour. Quick funny story. We're in LA. The tire blew, so we go to adjust tires to fix the tire. The guy says, "I can't fix the tire," and he looks up at the side of the RV. He goes, "Palayo." I'm like, "Yes, how do you know?" He goes, I was on my team 4 years ago and I quit. Now I see his face on the side of an RV. Man, tell you, man, I've never met a winning quitter. So,
Never.
Talk about full circle.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt, how do we introduce our?
Dude, this is gonna be a weird one.
Boo-boos? How do you introduce our boo-boos? Okay. You know, for me, I'm gonna bring up Ceci. Then you can bring up.
For sure,
Ashley.
you got it.
Because I'm gonna introduce, like it's, you know, it's like I'm here, guys. We hustle together. We lose together. We win together. You know, when you get married, it says in the good and the bad, right? And I say when you get married, when you're poor and when you're wealthy, we just happen that we're wealthy, okay? But we were poor. We were poor, and let me show you this picture. Man, I have two pictures to show you. I have a before and after, and I have this one, okay? So watch this. She doesn't know that I show pictures, but this is before and after. Can you see it? This is how we used to be, and probably we were making. Huh?
She hasn't changed, bro.
She hasn't changed. The only one that has changed is me. Okay. And we were broke. We were not even. I don't know how we made it to the events. And now we're wealthy, man. And life changed by doing this business. And this picture says it all when I'm with Ceci. You know, because of you know, I don't. My face is not there, but you can.
Wait, who took that picture, bro? Who took that picture?
You did. That's right. You are the one who takes all those good pictures. And she took the picture, and you took the picture. But this is everything. Her face. She means it all. Because you know, it's exciting to be in the field when we're building this together. And I think that we're gonna get all together, and we're gonna be doing this. So one day we're gonna say, you know, we built this. And this company is built on marriages and couples that we're doing this together. And I'm not here without her. I'm not here speaking to you without her support. I'm not here without her. She's a leader too. She does a lot of things over here on the office. Sometimes I have to speak, but you guys, many people don't see everything that she does behind closed doors. So with that being said, my wife, Ceci Vargas, how are you?
I am doing great. I've had such an amazing time during this call, guys. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. It's starting from when you're starting to show in all of these crazy pictures. I'm looking at myself on the on that picture that you were showing early, Matt, and the yacht. I'm like, damn, like I need to get back to the gym. That's all I thought about that. Then I'm thinking, I'm looking at this other picture. Rodolfo is like back in when we were at Washington, D.C. I didn't go to a trip. Rodolfo tells me, Ceci, I'm going to go into Washington, D.C. We had to decide between having a honeymoon or him going to Washington, D.C. to spend time with Patrick. And I remember getting so much criticism from my family because we chose Rodolfo going on that trip versus we having a honeymoon. And that trip changed our life. That trip changed. The name of our team was born during that trip. But that's how we got started. We really got started in this business with nothing to our name, just Rodolfo's big dream of coming on board with the company and really thinking that this was something that was going to change our life. And I'm gonna show you a few pictures today. My talk is not going to be long. I just want to share with you guys what your life could look like if you actually decide to be that person that believes in the borrow the dream. If you actually go and borrow the dream, because I borrowed Rodolfo's dream, I didn't believe that this was possible. If you were to ask me 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 7 years ago, he will tell me these things and I will say it's not possible. Guys, 5 years ago, we go this was 5-6 years ago. We go and we ask for a loan because I was like telling Rodolfo, we don't own a house. The American dream is to own a house. We have to buy a house. And we go and apply for a loan, $100,000 loan. I kept on telling Rodolfo, just buy me a little town home with 2 little rooms for our little family that I want to start, right? And we had no kids at that time. We go to Chase to get this loan, $100,000 loan, and we get declined. And I got so upset that we get declined. And who knew that just a few years later, we were gonna buy this house. You guys can see the pictures I'm sharing. Let me just tell you
Yes.
about this beautiful place we live on. This is there's a country club where the kids are gonna be able to take private lessons, golf lessons, tennis lessons. It's just right here. We live right in the middle of Houston. This is our house right here. There's only 2 houses that has this view. This is our backyard, and it's the most beautiful. They call it, it's $1 million view. This is my room right here. If you can see, my pointer is right here. This is my balcony. When I am waking up and drinking coffee in the morning in these 2 chairs right here, you can see this beautiful oak tree. The tree is right here, and you can see the waterfalls, and there's ducks, and there's beautiful birds coming out of the trees all the time in the morning. It's just the freaking dream. If you ask me, Ceci, why are you so happy all the time? People ask me now, since we moved into this house, it's like, I live the dream. I am not, I'm not dreaming anymore. I live the dream. This life is just freaking amazing, and PHP gave us this. Am I still sharing my screen? Can you see the pictures of the kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me just show you a few pictures to tell you the story of the kids. This is my parents coming in town. They're here in and out. Guys, my parents is like here all the time. My mom comes every other weekend, flies in from El Salvador to spend time with the kids. It's like, you can see their faces. It's like, my dad is completely proud. Their first couple of days of school for Milo and Enzo, they go to this private school where I didn't tell Rodolfo how much it was going to be. He asked me like a couple of days ago, and I'm like, yeah, it's just $40,000 a year. He's like, what are you talking about? $40,000 a year for kindergarten? This is pre-K. This is not even kindergarten yet, and Milo's already saying that he's a doctor. He's writing his name. So I'm telling this during BOM, and Rodolfo is like, who does anybody in here want to teach my child how to write his name for $40,000 a year, right? I give you a private tutor right here. And this is our life. It's just an amazing school that he's going. Enzo is also going. This picture, I love this picture because this is how excited Enzo is when he's looking at his daddy. Rodolfo is like right there, and I just captured these pictures right here. This is the kids taking the coach private lessons. I believe Enzo is gonna be the next Messi. He's an amazing soccer player. Since he's 1 year old, it's just crazy. Had the way that he drives the ball, and the actual soccer of the Juventus here in Houston is coaching the kids. He comes once a week to give them private lessons to each of them. And of course, Felipe, he has an amazing bond with his dad and his grandpa. My dad wanted to see Felipe. My dad couldn't come to see him, so I took Felipe just for Sunday. I flew into El Salvador Sunday. I came back Monday just because my daddy wanted to see his grandson because he couldn't make it here during that weekend. And that's the life that we live. I have a picture of Anna right here because these ladies, it's the nanny of the kids, and she's just amazing. And you get to hire people that it's with you all the time because you are able to afford them and able to actually have them live their dreams too, because you actually make the money. And that's my life in a nutshell. That's my life. My kids, sending them to school right now, enjoying the house, right? And we do have bigger dreams. Rodolfo is just already talking about a 10-bedroom house and all of this crazy stuff. But here's what I will tell you for the wives that are on the call that don't believe what your husband is telling you. I think that what changed after that decline of the mortgage, right? Decline of the loan. What really changed was that I decided to be fully on board. It's 7 years in the business. I decided to actually stop thinking that it was his business, start saying it's my business too. And it wasn't that I went to run appointments by myself. It was more than every night when we will talk about it, I stopped saying, you really think that that's going to happen? I really stopped questioning what he thought that he could do. I really started to not only encourage him, but being there with him, attending the meetings, really being there at big events, really putting an effort, really wanted to find my role in the company. And that changed our life. That changed the life of our kids. And this company can do the same for you. So thank you for the time, guys. And I can wait to hear what Sheena is about to say and the pictures that he's about to show during this call.
Well, one of my favorite pictures that you sent us is right here. Right here in Dubai. We're so broke we couldn't even eat at the Dubai Mall food court. We had to go off and to find a hole in the wall type of spot. So this is July 2015. So
I remember the picture. I remember.
Matt, look at this. Before you bring up Sheena, look at this. Oh no, but you need to stop the share. I have that. Look at
okay,
this.
go ahead.
Here, Sheena is sporting her watch. Okay, she was so excited about getting
Her $50,000 watch.
No, you
She's
guys
doing the
make
Shador
me
Sanders right
weak.
there. She's doing this her version of Shador Sanders.
That we were we were watching the goal. We were not buying any goal. We're just watching the goal. And that's Sheena and Ceci over there in Dubai.
That's it.
And it's a good stories.
Very good story. Very good story. All right, my turn.